Welcome back, viewers and subscribers. It's your girl, Star Flames, and we are back with another video. In this video, we're going to talk about Sean Diddy Combs' legal team. They have dropped a new motion, and they're saying, look here, Your Honor, these tapes that you have in your possession of Cassie and Diddy, it's all consensual. This is what Americans do. This is what consenting adults do. No. While Sean Diddy Combs' legal team can argue this in their defense, Cassie can definitely dispute this, and she had disputed this in her lawsuit. She basically told us that oftentimes she was forced, oftentimes she was drugged, oftentimes she was beaten, and we did see a clip of this man putting hands and feet on this woman. So if we've seen that one video clip of Diddy doing that to this woman, just imagine what has not been revealed to us. So as such, this argument is not going to stand up in court, and he's definitely not going to get out on bail. But Diddy's legal team, they're going to try to put forward the best defense argument possible, but it's really not going to work. Now, as per their new argument, what they're saying is that the 9 videos at issue are the so-called freak-off tapes with victim 1 that the government has repeatedly referenced, causing wild speculation in the media. Contrary to what the government has led this court and the public to believe, the so-called freak-offs were private sexual activity between fully consenting adults in a long-term relationship. Like many Americans in the privacy of their own bedrooms, they sometimes filmed their sexual activity. These videos unambiguously show that the person alleged in the indictment to be the victim 1 not only consented, but thoroughly enjoyed herself. Okay. These recordings corroborate what witnesses have told the government, namely the victim 1. And some of the information have been blocked out, and they're making reference to the docket that includes the evidence, and it's on the seal. So which means that they have explicit, not just a video, they've also taken photos from the videos as evidence to prove that Cassie Ventura was having a fun time. But I don't get why is it that they are trying to convince the court that she was having a fun time when she already detailed how this man would give her substance and get her to do the things that she doesn't want to do. But let's continue, right? The court documents further states the recording also directly refute the allegations that Mr. Combs kept these videos as collateral. These recordings were not on Mr. Combs' devices and were not seized from his homes. Rather, victim 1 kept these videos on her own device for years and produced them to the government herself. The protective order requires parties to meet and confer regarding any dispute over the government's designations, after which the defense may seek a de-designation by the court. And they're talking about in reference. We have conferred with the government counsel who opposed this request. Now, the new filing further states, moreover, contrary to innumerable sensationalistic media reports, the videos do not depict ex-parties. There are no secret cameras, no orgies, nor other celebrities involved, no underground tunnels, no minors, and not so much as hint of coercion or violence. Far from the government's lurid description, the video shows adults having consensual sex. Plain and simple. At bottom, this case is about whether victim 1 was or was not a willing participant in her private ex-life with Mr. Combs. The video confirmed that she plainly was. So that's the end of the updated details on the court document. They're saying that, Cassie was a willing participant. Cassie kept those tapes to her own leisure because she wanted to. And if you look at the tapes that was submitted, you could see Cassie look as though she's having a good time. Now, I understand that with Sean Diddy Combs' defense team arguing that it looks as though Cassie was having a good time. However, not because it appears as though she was having a good time, it doesn't necessarily mean that she was having a good time, because Cassie had detailed in her lawsuit that oftentimes she was given substance, and she was given substance to the point where she started losing memory. So it says a lot about, what is on those tapes. And I do believe that it requires a special team of forensic to actually look at the video and say, you know what, Your Honor, we have looked at the video, we have analyzed the content, and they can highlight where it seems as though Cassie may be under some kind of substance. And then at that point, it would be up to Sean Diddy Combs' defense team to argue if Cassie had willingly taken substance, to heighten the moment, like ecstasy or something like that. So they would have to actually come back and argue that Cassie was willing to take a substance to have a better experience in the moment. But my point is, not because it appears as though she was having a good time on tape, it doesn't mean that she was literally having a good time. We could be looking at a woman that was highly, substance, as we all have heard through many details. And I'm not just talking about the lawsuits that Tony Busby has filed against Diddy, because majority of those lawsuits are frivolous. 90% of them, or more than 90% of them, are frivolous. And I think more than 90% of them have been tossed out by the court. I'm talking about, if you listen to what a lot of the entertainers in the industry have shared with us, they have shared with us that you would go to these parties and the men were told not to touch those drinks over there. Those drinks are for the woman, for their legs to get loose. So if they should put all those clips of these entertainers telling us what goes on at these parties, and it is documented in a lot of the content, in a lot of the music, and many of us have been highlighting these details. So as such, I'm just saying, I understand Sean Diddy Combs' legal team, arguments in his defense, but the question remains, they're not experts on analyzing videos. Yes, at first glance, it could be seen as she's enjoying it, but I believe that with experts, forensics, they can see something otherwise. So I'm just saying. Now, the other thing that was highlighted is that, how is it that they're saying there's no minors included? That's what his legal team is arguing. They're saying, looking at the tapes, there were no minors included, no tunnels, etc., etc. And his legal team is basically saying that the government is the one that came up with this theory. They're actually calling the government a conspiracy theorist. They're saying the government came up with a theory of tunnels being involved, minor being involved, and they put this out in the media for people to believe it, but then there's no evidence proving that there's any tunnel or any minors involved. No, I have to say that I do believe some of the stories. It's just that people experiencing these things and being able to provide the evidence to support their argument is going to be really hard. But as I've said, and this is why I want to see the real victims stepping forward and just be done with Tony Busby and his nonsense lawsuits, because that's literally what Tony Busby is at this point. Tony Busby is a major distraction in this game. Like, as I've said, maybe more than 98% of his lawsuits have been tossed out at this point. As such, hence why he's trying to get money from Jay-Z. We want to be done with Tony Busby. We want to see the real victims stepping forward, because Busby is a major distraction in this entire scenario. But guys, that's all I have to share in this video with you guys. Let me know what are your thoughts about Sean Diddy Combs' team arguing that Cassie was having a good time and nothing seems to be done without her consent. That's what they're saying. But I want to hear from you guys. What are your thoughts while you're at it? Give this video a big thumbs up, share, stay safe, and see you guys in the comment section. Peace.